John Avenger once again, and welcome to another podcast. This is going to be a really long movie, so let's get this done as soon as we can. It is the 2012 third movie in the franchise, The Dark Knight Rises. Yes, Christopher Nolan's final movie in the Batman trilogy. Let's get this started. This is over 2 hours long, so let's do this. Yes, I saw this in the theater. I survived, because some people didn't. There was a lot of tension in the air when this came out. It's a long movie. I just think that's one of the biggest flaws of the movie. Is just this is way longer than The Dark Knight and Batman Begins. It could have been 20 minutes shorter, in my opinion. I know it's a finale, but it could have been. There's Josh Stewart from the Collection and The Collector. There's that Irish guy from 12 Rounds. It's a great looking film. Nolan tried, but man, this movie is it's had to change the whole movie after Heath Ledger passed away. So yeah, Bane sounds like Sean Connery in this movie. It's weird. Dude, there's a great shots in the movie. Some people just didn't like this movie, because they think it's boring. I'm like, yeah. This is Tom Hardy before he started sounding like a cartoon character in Venom. Venom is way worse than this. That literally made me sick. And his voice. Why does he sound like that? The mask looks cool, but why does he sound like that? Well, I was till I put on the mask. It'll be extremely painful for you. Yeah. I remember his dialogue, but he sounded ridiculous in the trailer. He looks like a BDSM guy. Yes, he's a step down from the Joker, but this film made over $1 billion, but it would have done better if it wasn't for all the violence that happened that day when the movie came out. In Aurora, Colorado, yeah, I wasn't there. I was in Manhattan, so I was safe. Because no movie's going to end me. Mm-mm. I'm a survivor. And while it has a lot of flaws, like I said, I don't hate it. I know when I hate a movie, trust me. Eternals felt way longer than this, and that movie was shorter, but it felt like it was 3 hours long. This at least has some entertaining value. Some. Catwoman's cool. I like some of the action sequences. Batman doesn't talk as much in the first hour. You know why. I don't think this is a masterpiece. None of these movies were for me. They were good movies. They're just too long and slow. And that's Nolan is not an action director. If people thought that he was an action director, he's not. He can shoot action really well. He's just not an action director like a John McTiernan or a Simon West or a Rennie Harlan or somebody. People that know action. I was on the edge of my seat in this movie because I didn't know if I was going to survive or not. Because I didn't hear about the shootings in Aurora until like I got to Manhattan. And said, "What did you think of what happened?" I'm like, "People are just sick." I don't even know if that's Tom Hardy's voice. It sounds nothing like him. That comes later. That's a really cool shot. The movie's not horrible. It has a lot of flaws. A lot of third movies usually do. Look at Spider-Man 3, or the third X-Men movie, or the third uh, Guardians. Guardians 3 was great, but it's too long also. Just like this, why is it they think that the third movie has to be the longest? The third Avengers is not the longest, the fourth one is. They couldn't mention the Joker at all in this movie. It's like he never existed. $8 years have passed. They mention Harvey Dent because they don't mention him or Rachel. Rachel's never mentioned you. There she is. Oh, she's so gorgeous. And freaking Hathaway. A lot of people had a problem with her. I thought she did fine. She's not Michelle Pfeiffer or Julie Newmar or even Eartha Kitt, but she did fine. She's better than Halle Berry. Matthew Modine, he could have been cut. The guy from Stranger Things, he didn't need to be in this movie. He's only here because he's let to die. Harvey Dent was not a great man. He was corrupt a bit too. She's so beautiful. And if people that say that she can't act, she won an Oscar after this movie for Les Mis. So suck on that, R&R. You miserable heap. I don't like people that have to crap on a movie because they got nothing better to do. I had problems with this movie. There's no doubt. Like, seeing this again, even there's a scene from The Dark Knight. Hello, superhero movie fans. Speaking of which, Nolan's excuse for making this movie just as long as Wakanda Forever is that there are some audiences in the theater that are fine with sitting through long movies. Yeah, but this isn't even the movie that got me like, oh my god, just make these movies shorter. It was like Interstellar, which is visually stunning. I love that movie, but it's too long. Wakanda Forever, Boseman died, so they had to make the movie even longer, and the first 15 minutes is about him. Then the other one is like 15 different plots going on. The Last Jedi, way too long. It was only the second movie, and it had to be longer than The Force Awakens. What about Oppenheimer? That's Nolan's most recent movie, and it's almost 3 hours long. Nolan, edit your movies shorter, please. Stop making your movies as long as Peter Jackson. You're not Peter Jackson. There's Michael Caine. My problem with the movie also is that Batman doesn't show up in this movie until almost an hour in. And I'm like, that was Batman Begins. When you want to give us a superhero, give it to us in the first half hour or less. Don't wait until the end, like halfway through the movie. That didn't happen with Superman. The first 5 minutes we see him. She's also could have been cut from the movie. Marion Cotillard, aka the woman from La Vie en Rose that won an Oscar for that. Good actress, but there's too many characters in this movie, guys. Too many characters. If Beyond Spider-Verse comes out in 2 years, please don't put 45 characters. We don't need it. Make it about Miles and the story focus on him. Don't focus on 85 other spider people that we don't care about. And there's freaking Ben Mendelsohn again. Suck it, dude. I hate this actor. I hated him in Rogue One. I didn't like him in Secret Invasion. I didn't like him in Captain Marvel. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm sick and tired of that guy. He thinks he's Gary Oldman. He thinks he's also Alan Rickman, and he's not. You're an Aussie. Plus, he dies here, so why is he even in the movie? Half of these characters die. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's good in the movie. He's fine. You know, he's an American actor. At least we got an American playing. What's his name? John Walker or whatever. What's his name? It's John something. And then they say, "Oh, I like your real name, Robin." Wink, wink. It's a nod. It's not really that he's playing Robin because he's not Dick Grayson. He's a different character. Some people just have a problem with that. They have to overanalyze everything, and I'm sick of it. Take your critical notices and shove it. R&R and all these poor direct writers that you know, these so-called critics that are just grifters. They just want to get a rise out of people. I can do that without being a grifter. Because what you see is what you get, and I don't hide behind a voice. Hey, Christian Bale, what's up? Anne Hathaway proved this out. They both won Oscars. He won for The Fighter, and she won for Les Mis. So they can act, so suck it. Yes, his Batman voice sucked. I said that in the last two movies. As Bruce, he's fine. Some people just love to hear themselves complain behind a camera. I don't have to. He's limping because he fell off a building, so it makes sense. He couldn't go to the hospital because those big eyes. Because I don't care about the new Fantastic Four. That could be 2 hours long and I don't care. Because I didn't care about anybody in the cast. If they said, oh, she's a biatch because she steals from him. She's a thief, guys. In the comics, Selena Kyle steals because she has no money. Bruce was born into money. Just to make that clear. Plus, her voice is sexy. Compared to Rachel, at least she doesn't die here. So they could have killed her off, but they didn't. I know, Alfred, you don't have to preach to the choir. Anne Hathaway's one of the most gorgeous women I've ever seen. So she did The Princess Diaries. That was over 2 decades ago. Let's move on. Okay, she's an Oscar-winning actress. Just like Emma Stone. Just like Natalie Portman and Brie Larson. People really need to get over their bias. You know why? Because you're fools. You're sheep. You need to be led. I'm not a sheep. There's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I've loved him ever since Angels in the Outfield. I saw him when he was a little kid in the 90s. He went from that to this, Inception, which that's why he got this role. And he's done good. Looper was not his fault. That was bad writing because Rian Johnson's not a good writer. He could shoot a movie. Can't write to save his life. Because even Knives Out, I'm like, why does this movie, you know, has a great cast and the writing is so bad? Yeah, some of the writing's bad in Knives Out, I say it. Because there's a bunch of foreign actors cursing at each other. I'm like, Ryan, people don't talk like that, okay? The way you write, people don't talk like that. James Gunn writes better than you. And his movies are better than yours. He didn't do The Last Jedi. Guardians 3 had a lot of flaws, but it's not The Last Jedi. That movie was boring. This movie's a lot of things, but boring is not one of them. Not to me, anyway. It's well shot. The acting is mostly good. And, you know, when the action's there, it's good. The scene with the first scene with Batman is very thrilling. I cheered, and he doesn't talk. So it's one of the best scenes in the film. This film's not fantastic, but it's got better filmmaking than a lot of superhero movies that came out this year. That's for damn sure. It's not depressing like Thunderbolts. It's not a cartoon like Venom or Venom 3 that came out last year, or it's not a broken movie like Madam Web or Kraven the Hunter. Oh, Kraven the Hunter had an R rating. That didn't save it. No. Didn't save it because it's bad filmmaking. Nikolai Odopro. Scott strikes again. Hell yeah, buddy. I'm a heterosexual man. Any woman that tickles my fancy, I'm there. Always. Because Katsuyar does nothing for me in this. She's not necessary. She's only here because she has to be connected to Bruce through her father, Ra's al Ghul. Mm-hmm. Alfred has some words of wisdom here. Mm-hmm. I miss Michael Caine, man. He retired, but at least he left us a great legacy of films and performances. Yes, he gives a lot of speeches in these movies, but Nolan really knows how to use Caine in most of the films that he's done. And I love him as Ebenezer Scrooge. That's the first thing I saw Michael Caine in. I'm like, his performance is so good in that, and it's a Muppet movie, and he's giving it like it's an Oscar-worthy, drama, and he's so good in it. He's so good. His emotion it's gripping. It's engaging. It's intriguing. This is a foreshadowing. It's a great Alfred. I still prefer Alfred, Michael Gough from the Tim Burton movies, but he's good, really good. Morgan Freeman's barely in this movie. He has like a cameo because he was doing other films. He was doing the Lego movie, so even that movie R&R complained about because he complains about everything. People that complain about every little movie, you're a loser. Okay, loser. I actually talk about films because I love cinema. It's my life. Look at my wall. Does this look like a wall of a person who hates everything? Hell no. Because I appreciate cinema. Even when it's bad, I can find some merits. I hated Eternals, but it is well shot. Just saying. It's a horrible movie, but it has some good shots in there. And one or two effects that I didn't hate. And some of the cast was trying. It's just they did better stuff. Like, look at Brian Tyree Henry. He's a good actor, and they made him the gay man. Yeah. Screw you, Marvel. He was Miles' dad. I didn't buy him. This movie is like Endgame. Well, it's really long, and it is slow. It builds up to something great at the end. Oh, I got a subscriber. Thanks for subscribing, Terry. Thanks a lot. See? People acknowledge me, and I don't have to force it down their throat. Oh, he'll be back. When Superman makes at least 700 million worldwide, we're going to get a Batman. Either Robert Pattinson's going to show up, or they're going to have another Batman show up. Yeah, this scene cracked me up. Because it comes out of nowhere. And you are so sexy, man. That long, dark hair, that does things for me. You are so yummy. Yes, I know she's married, guys. You don't have to tell me, but... Oh, there's that idiot from Pacific Rim and Pacific Rim Uprising. Yeah, he just looks weird. Too many characters. She's a breath of fresh air because a lot of the movie is a lot of talking and men. And she's the only woman in this movie that, gets me. Would love to meet her at Comic-Con. Say, you're gorgeous, man. Those large, friendly eyes and that dark hair and those big, juicy lips. She's almost Scarlett Johansson, except she has, she's got a more exotic-looking face. They're close in age, too. Her voice is soothing, guys. And after sitting through horrible performances, hey, look, it's the new Supergirl. No, that's Juno Temple. No, she's from Les Mis. Not a fan. She's British. The new Supergirl is Aussie. We have to see more of her to get things. Because people are say, "Oh, she's drunk, so she's a bad character." We have to see more. One scene does not make a character, guys. With Corn Sweat, the first scene in the snow, and him saying, go, "Take me home," I was already engaged. Why? Because I'm already, invested. You don't have to whisper. Mm-hmm. Yes, Black Widow is a better character. Oh yeah, I like this scene. See, an action scene. They don't want to wait an hour to do that. Watch this. She just switches on a dime. She's so cute. Yeah, her short hair was shorter in Interstellar. Watch, watch this. Yes, it's amazing how she could go from like flipping someone over and then screaming. It's a cover up, guys. Mm. I've been telling you guys for years that women are felines. Yeah. And I don't complain that much about it if a movie isn't good. Superman will return as well as Wonder Woman, Supergirl, and The Flash. Yeah, The Flash, I want to wait. I need time. This Superman movie reminded me that, yes, DC can make an epic summer movie without having a psychopath in it. You can't complain about one scene. Luke was in one scene at the end of The Force Awakens and he says nothing. But when we got to Last Jedi, there's no payoff. He throws the lightsaber and he's like, "Screw you." I'm like, I would have thrown it in her face. That would at least give me a laugh. Not throw it over him. At least if I throw it in her face, it would hurt her. But no. That girl, that thing that they call us an actress, was covered by plot armor. Excuse me. Yeah, plus Gary Oldman does nothing in this movie. After he gets injured here, he's out of the movie until the end of the film. Because he was doing 8 other movies after this. Batman doesn't show up in this movie for a while. You know why? You know why the girls have a the P word, the 5-letter P word? Yeah, you know what that means because they're kitties. I don't want to say it because I don't want to get this video flagged. Women just have these feminine, feline, traits that just gets me. It does, guys. I'm not saying women are cats. I'm just saying they're very cat-like. Their eyes, the way they walk. Oh my god. Yeah, Matthew Modine's not a bad actor, but he doesn't need to be here. The whole movie he goes after Bruce, and I'm like, why? He didn't kill Harvey Dent. He fell. It was an accident. He did it in self-defense. Tom Hardy disappears for a lot of the movie too. Why? Because he was also doing a lot of things. Nolan doesn't realize that if you're missing somebody for half the movie, people are going to be disinterested. That's why people hate this movie. A lot of them do. It was critically acclaimed. It was in the top. He can't. He can barely understand a word he's saying. Girls are kitties. And I'm like, if I see Caitlin Deaver in Godzilla Supernova, I'm going to lose my mind. Because the ending of this movie made me laugh hysterically. I was on the floor cracking up. And people were like, no, you're going to take this seriously or not. I'm like, with Nolan, every movie he does is serious. Name me one comedy that Nolan has done. Not one. It's not Memento. It's not Insomnia. It's not Inception. It's not Interstellar. It's not Dunkirk. All of his movies are dead serious. I'm like, because Nolan doesn't have a sense of humor. Denis Villeneuve barely does either. That's why he doesn't do comedies. Some of these directors, no. Some of these directors are take themselves so seriously. Spielberg has a sense of humor. He's directed some comedies. So did McTiernan. Die Hard has some funny moments in it, and also Last Action Hero was a movie of its time. You know, it was ahead of its time. People didn't get the comedy because they didn't know what meta humor was back then. You know, looking at the camera and winking at the audience. Or I do feel bad for Gordon in this movie. Bane picked on an older man. Why would you do that? You stupid bastard. Yeah, I can't stand Tom Hardy as an actor. Just Venom made me sick. I saw the movie and I was so sick when I saw it. My stomach was gurgling and I was really nauseous. And I'm like, why did this movie make money? It's a horrible PG-13 cartoon where he talks like this for the whole movie. And I'm like, it's not funny. It's annoying. Bane, yeah, he sounds ridiculous, but that was a choice that Nolan made. And this is a much stronger movie than that because it's not a cartoon, mostly. But with Venom, I can't stand this performance. He's a cartoon character, and that's not Venom in the cartoon. In the animated series, Venom doesn't sound ridiculous, and he didn't make me sick. And he has the spider symbol. That's the Venom from the comics, not this. I'm a grunge singer from space, and I'm a loser. Yeah, yeah. Suck it, Sony. You should be shot for doing that. I'm never gonna forgive Sony for that, Josh. If Venom is in Beyond or in Brand New Day, they better have a good explanation for it because they haven't announced a villain, and it better not be Tom Hardy's cartoon. It better be a better version of Venom because I think they are gonna put him in it. But please, for the love of God, don't make him a cartoon. Please, Mr. Freeze, don't make him a cartoon. Take it seriously. Enough, you know. No stupid puns because it's not funny. It's not. That's why the Smurfs flopped this year because it's not funny. Excuse me. Girls are kitties, and I'm like, yeah, and it's why when I first saw, Caitlin Deaver in the Booksmart trailer, I'm like, I just lost my mind. Yeah, this scene could have been cut a little bit. It's just putting on a mask, wink, wink. Gordon Levitt does fine. He's he's one of two new characters in this movie that really works. Him and Anne Hathaway as Catwoman, aka Selena Kyle. Because she does something in the movie. She's not just there. Her outfit is sexy, but her costume it's less latex and it's more, a silicone. Yeah, because Nolan couldn't have the costume be too tight where she can't move because Michelle Pfeiffer could barely move in that thing. Yeah, I don't get it either. Hell yeah, I am. The Batman was amazing, just too long. Matthew Reeves, he had to reduce it to not make it R-rated, but make the next one shorter. We don't need a 3-hour Batman movie. People don't want to sit in the theater that long. Obviously. That's why Killers of the Flower Moon flopped. It's too long. It's way too long. And half of the movie's in a Native American language and there's no subtitles, so we have no idea what they're saying. That's a really cool shot. Yeah, Fox, who doesn't show up until late. The score is still haunting in this. I never hated the score here. It's not Danny Elfman's score. I prefer that. That's Batman to me. There's Thomas Lennon, yeah. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's just in one scene. See, they don't drag his scene out.
He's wearing a mask. We all did. In 2020, that's all we were doing. Wearing masks everywhere. Like I said, I'm not afraid of COVID anymore. I beat it. I'm one of the few people that beat it. Wait, what? Everybody's whispering in this movie. I'm like, Nolan, you can have your actors speak up. You're not M. Night Shyamalan. You don't have to make these people whisper at the camera like this. Whispering is not dramatic. Sorry, it's not. We know. And we're 31 minutes in and we still got over 2 hours to go. You're so sexy. Look at those bosoms. Nolan is so upset with making actors whisper. Yeah, he thinks that's dramatic. I'm like, if I can't hear them, it's not dramatic. At least Juno Temple's not Supergirl. That would have been worse. Way worse. Because she's a British chick. And you know how I feel about them. They're just... I can't stand them. They're in everything. And, you know, they're going to ruin Fantastic Four. We all know that. Yeah, enough with the cameras. He says, my wife, and then she steals this... Yes, this scene is similar to the one in Batman Returns, but it's early in the movie. That was near the end. Don't get me wrong, Marion Cotillard is a beautiful woman, but she was not necessary here. She was only in this because Nolan worked with her in Inception, which was also a movie where she dies. She jumps out of a window. Yeah, I told you, Nolan is weird, man. Some of his choices are weird. People are like, you do not blast the Christopher Nolan. He's the greatest director to ever live. No, he's a good director, but he's not the greatest to ever live. Hitchcock did the same thing and his movies were shorter. And never won an Oscar. Look at The Birds, look at Psycho, look at the original Rear Window and Vertigo. Those are marvelous movies. And they're long and slow, but they're not 3 hours long. He knew how to put tension in his movies. Nolan just makes movies long for the sake of being long. He's never going to do a 90-minute movie. Odyssey is going to be like 3 hours. I almost guarantee it. Because God forbid he makes a movie that's under 2 hours. His only under 2 hour movie recently is Dunkirk. And there's no women in that. You have Harry Styles in a war epic. And he's not an actor. Nolan. Hello, beautiful kitty. Look at that hair bun. That is nice. That the flower petals falling. That's a nice visual gag. Look at her nails. Her nails are pretty. Again, they're whispering. Of course, she has a sexy whisper, but... He's older than her. Because Anne Hathaway's in her 40s, and I think Bale's like 50 now. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I'm just doing this now because I usually do a really long movie Saturday or Sunday, but I'm going to be here all day, so... Their tension is it's legendary between Batman and Catwoman. Yeah, they want to punch. He wants to punch her, yet he's also really attracted to her. Again, she's a woman. May as well as have the time. She's so gorgeous, man. We know. She won an Oscar for singing. That's right. Kiss that pretty girl. Hmm. Hmm. I would kiss her back. Why? She kissed him 35 minutes into the movie. Yeah. Usually you have to wait till the end of the movie. My. You wish Anne Hathaway was your wife. She took the car. That happened in Batman Forever, but again, that was more goofy. Mm-hmm. It still takes way too long for Batman to show up. Even The Dark Knight Returns, he's in it way more. There's Lucius Fox. This is a well-made movie. I'm never gonna bash it for the production, but let's face it, they had a hard act to follow after The Dark Knight. There was no way you could make a better movie than that because Ledger's performance is so engaging that people wanted more of that, and we didn't get it because he died. And yet with Bane, he's not as good a villain. He disappears for half the movie. He doesn't do anything after the airplane scene. He doesn't break Batman's back until like halfway through the movie, which is in the comics. Mm-hmm. That was in Nightfall. Mm-hmm. The gadgets are what makes Batman real cool. Because he has no superpowers. That's why he has a busted leg. Superman would never have a busted leg because only kryptonite could really hurt him. But I do prefer Superman over this movie. It's shorter. It has a lighter tone. It's got a more satisfying ending, and he's in the movie. Superman doesn't disappear in that movie for half the movie. That would have been a problem. If the movie started with him bleeding and say, "Crypto, take me home," and then you don't see him for an hour, it wouldn't be a Superman movie, would it? The Bat. Mm-hmm. The Bat. It does come in black. Wink, wink, gosh, right? He's a good as Lucius Fox. I also like Lucius Fox in Gotham. He was played by a younger actor. He was really good because he doesn't have to do much to leave an impression on you. He's the tech guy. He's the Q to like like Q is for Bond. There's that leg brace. He could kick a brick with his leg. That's why when I saw Minecraft, when I heard all those crazy people were in the theater, I watched it at home. I'm safer watching it at home. No one's gonna throw a popcorn at me or slushy or a live chicken. I eat chicken. That's also a really cool shot. There's the costume. Finally, 39 minutes into the movie, guys. 39. Ra's al Ghul, yeah. 40 minutes in already. We all fail. Look at Superman. The first 5 minutes of the movie, he lost a fight and he's bleeding. That would normally piss me off, but it was a different way to open a Superman movie. I'll give it that. And they're in the same universe. That's the thing. This and Superman are in the same universe, DC. It's not like this. Yeah, this is separated because Nolan didn't want to connect this. So he doesn't do cinematic universes, but it's the same. It's in the same. Hey, that's Glenn Powell. That was Glenn Powell. Oh my God, he's in this movie. I forgot he was in this movie. There's so many characters. That's Glenn Powell from Top Gun Maverick. Again, a better movie than this. It's shorter. It didn't have to be 3 hours. That's Glenn Powell. It's like, yeah, I couldn't stand him when he was in Expendables 3. Mainly because he was not needed in that movie. Top Gun Maverick, he did fine. And Anyone But You, I liked him in that as well. He proved himself. He got better over the years. This idiot would say, he's a scrappy actor because he thinks he's this. I don't want to hear it, okay? Take your criticisms and shove it, R&R. You are a loser. We all know it. That's why you don't have a girlfriend, a wife, or anything. Cody Leach has a family, and he is a better YouTube personality. He's a personality. He's not a whiny little bitch. So yeah, I call you out because we know who the real fans are of cinema, not people that complain on a camera for 25 minutes. The stock exchange, yeah. This is usually in New York, not Chicago. But this movie doesn't take place in New York because Gotham City is not New York City. You disappear for like a third of the movie. There's Glenn Powell. I can't believe that's him. I was like, yeah, that's him. Forgot. Let the games begin. Yeah, again, it's a laughable voice, but it's not as laughable as Batman's voice later in the film. Especially at the end. That's Glenn Powell. I can't believe he was in this movie. I forgot. I remember everybody else that was in the movie, Modine and Murray Cotillard and all that, but I forgot that Glenn Powell was a cameo in this. And of course, Cillian Murphy, because he has to be in all of Nolan's movies, whether he belongs in there or not. There are too many characters in this movie. When I saw Infinity War, I said that, yes, it's long, but it's not as long as this. The next Batman movie I'm doing is this one. It's a lot shorter, and it's not 3 hours long. Batman, Scooby-Doo meets Batman. That's way shorter, and it's animated, so no more long Batman movies for me for a while. I'm not doing the Snyder Cut. If I do it, I must do it in 2 days. There's no way I can do it all at once. It's way too long, guys. The first half of the movie is just about the Justice League, and the epilogue is like an hour of nothing. It's just things that will not happen in the DCU. The Injustice storyline can't be done right now. They're trying to be a little bit lighter. And it's crazy that the Snyder Cut is longer than this. And I felt the length. If you didn't feel the length of the Snyder Cut, I don't know what will. Because that was almost 4 hours. And I'm like, oh my God. Because I dressed up as a Joker to go see this movie, and someone told me I had to take my mask off. This is when theaters were not allowed to. You were not allowed to wear a mask in a theater. Now you can. Certain masks. "44 minutes in." This is a cool scene. We're almost at the chase scene. It took a long time to get Batman in this movie. Almost an hour. That's too long, guys. Nolan, less waiting. You know, Alien is a slow movie. I did a podcast for that a few weeks ago, but Ridley Scott, when he cared before he lost his mind, he made movies long enough at that time. Yep. Here we go. Lights going out. Hell yeah. Finally. Almost an hour into the movie. There it is. 45 minutes into the movie, guys. Hell yeah, buddy. There he is. 45 minutes in. Superman, the first 5 minutes. Just remember, the costume looks much better in this one, too. It doesn't talk, because that voice wouldn't work in this scene. 45 minutes. Guys. Some people, that's going to be an eternity. This scene is awesome. Best scene in the movie, in my opinion. That music is bombastic. He's using the bat pod. That thing was always cool to me. This movie should have had Bruce Wayne get in the suit in the first 10 minutes, yes. Ah, shut up, Matthew Modine. You're going to be on Stranger Things and you're going to die. You're going to be the one thing that connects to 11. Even though I don't care about her because she looks like a boy and I'm not a friend of British chicks. I've told you guys that. 90% of them can't act. Especially in Stranger Things. Jesus. You have her looking like sad and confused half the time. And then you have Charlie Heaton. He's an ugly looking dude. He's no Robert Pattinson. And then you had Eddie, played by that idiot from Fantastic Four. And not wanting to do it right now in the opening. Yeah, but again, takes too long, Josh. 45 minutes is way too long. This is not the first movie. This is the third movie. Infinity War, we got the Avengers in the first 5 minutes. You got Thanos taking his helmet off. A ton of Avengers are captured, and then they show up. You don't have to wait till the end to see that. He didn't kill him. It was an accident. It was manslaughter, maybe, but he wasn't. He didn't murder him. He had to stop him from killing these people. The Return of the Batman. The Batman. First 10 minutes he shows up. Josh, where's the explanation for that? I don't like the ending of this movie either. It's not that great. Mainly the bomb and everything. I'm like, yeah, it's not as good. It's like the boat scene, except it's not. There's no payoff for it. This scene is awesome, though. I'll defend this scene every day of the week. I had. He sees him on the screen and he's smiling. It's a great scene. That's awesome. I broke your fall. There's so much tension in this one scene, and Batman doesn't say a word. That's what works in the movie, guys. It's his actions, not his words. This is what worked about Robert Pattinson. He walks like a boss, and then beats up the guy and says, "I'm vengeance." That works. See? Short and sweet. The ending of Infinity War, yeah, but either one, they have an ending that was gonna piss people off. That music is so good in the scene, man. Because it's bombastic and cinematic. Boom. Time to fly. This is the best scene in the movie. I love this scene so much. Whee! Yee! Ah! Oh, that's so cool, man. See, that's Batman to me. You don't have to say much to leave a lasting impression. Yes, Infinity War, the snap is bad, okay? I knew that. But Endgame definitely makes up for it. This movie didn't have an endgame. This was the endgame. Yeah, that movie's long. It's longer than this. One, two, because we know Robert people have issues with him. I don't, not in that movie. That was awesome, yeah. The wheels turning. The wheels are always turning, man. See, this movie does have its moments. It does. Yes, the scene in the mountains is too long, where he's in prison and his back is broken. That scene is too long. But that's in the second hour of the movie. Yep, there's the bat. One of the few CGI scenes in the movie. Most of this was done on set. Like the plane scene that was actually done with a not an actual plane but a set. Yep, I'm flying away. That scene was worth the price of admission. See, he's smiling. That look on his face just says, I missed him. 45 minutes. Yeah, what was Nolan's excuse? I'm going to make every movie I make 3 hours and audiences are going to like it. No, audiences didn't like Tenet. You saw Tenet, Josh? Yeah. They said it was boring and pretentious and up its own anus. Hello, you sexy cat. There she is, 51 minutes, but at least we saw Selena do stuff. Oh, yes, those high heels. No, she won an Oscar. You didn't, Mendelsohn. All you do is yell in every movie you're in. That's sexy. If a woman put her feet in my face, oh. Remember the scene in Daredevil when she's like, I'm nachos, and he was like, Yeah, we know Ben Affleck was hard as a rock. I mean, he married Jennifer Garner. He's not with her anymore, but they did have babies together. That connects you no matter what. A piece of paper is not going to change that, guys. Sorry, celebrities. She's awesome. I really love Catwoman in the movie. She's really cool and sexy, and played by an American actress. Hopefully, Black Cat they'll do well in Sony, and they don't cast somebody British. I don't need it. They want Anna Taylor-Joy, but she's too busy playing Peach. So I bought him. Yeah, even in Captain Marvel, he can't act. I only cut him some slack because he's not yelling as much. This ball is taken. Yeah, you sound just as stupid as Bane does. Yeah, and that was a better movie too because it's shorter. Captain Marvel. It is, and R&R hated that movie too because he just hates everything. It's a bastard. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have enough love in your life. There's the voice. I haven't watched Deadpool in a while. Yeah, no, it's still awesome. That's cool. If they're fighting together. There's like a scene from the Arkham games that I've seen. This is a car. I don't think Black Cat can work. You say that, Josh, but you haven't seen it yet. It didn't work in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 because there was no Black Cat. It was Felicia Hardy played by a British chick with big beaver teeth that does nothing. If she does something, it'll work. That's what they're trying to do with Brand New Day. Making things work. Oh, not hypersexualized, Josh. They're not going to show her ass in my face, okay? Here they did it sexy without doing that. It's not an adult film. No superhero movie has done that. Unless you saw Spider Babe, and you know what that is, right? I'm not going to explain it. Let me lie down, because it's going to be a long podcast. And it doesn't say the running time on this, because it's a steel book. Yo. The sexy body there. I still think his voice is more laughable than The Dark Knight. And that's the movie that's most beloved. Lie down. Oh. I thought I was gonna do that. At least with Bat Affleck, it was less that laughable because he had a voice modulator to sound like that. Do you bleed? You will. She's gone. That's what it feels like. Yes, she disappears. That is a cool looking bat. The bat, because the tumbler looks like a tank. This movie celebrated a woman. She's the only woman with a personality here because Mary Cotillard disappears for a while, and she's like, "I'm Ra's al Ghul's daughter." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't care." Because we've never had a fourth Spider-Man movie. We always got to 3 or 2, and then it stopped. Even Venom, they had to stop after 3 because it was so poorly received. I know. See, they never mentioned the Joker again because the Ledger family didn't want him mentioned in the movie. They had to cut him out of the movie, his actions never happened. Only Harvey Dent's death is what mattered. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The truth. We have to put new characters in Sony's Spider-Man. We can't have the same characters because it's not gonna work. Because with 3, with No Way Home, they had to bring back a lot of characters from the past. There wasn't a new villain. Even that movie, I like it better than this. Kane does a great performance. I see you in the third act of the movie at the end. I gotta clean this room because there's a lot of dust in here. But I want to do this to get it over with because this is a very long movie, and I want to get it done. There's Lucius Fox. I gotta put something in my eye. Hold on. My eye's getting itchy again. Hope I didn't get another reaction, yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit red. Hold on. Favorite character's filler. We already got a woman in this movie. We don't need 2. Here's the eye drops. Put some eye drops. Miranda, don't you mean Talia al Ghul? Because there's Nisa al Ghul and there's Talia al Ghul. Oh. Good old eye drops.
Uh, uh, Sorry about the delay, folks, but I had to. There's that. My eyes all itchy. You're trusting a strange woman?
Much better. Okay, now let me die now. Yeah, she's only in the movie to connect to Ra's al Ghul, but I'm like, he's dead. Why do you have to bring him up again? This movie has enough plot in it already. And this is when Ben Mendelsohn dies. Angelica Jones is a new character from Marvel we haven't seen yet. I see him saying that. I'd never heard of her. Why do you have to yell, dude? When Bane kills him, I'm like, yeah, you did me a favor. We're in. Oh, what do you mean? Bane's supposed to sound South American. He's a Hispanic. He's not black. He's not British. It's Firestar. Oh, now you're telling me. You're spoiling it already, Josh. Yep. He broke his neck off screen because Nolan can't show blood anymore. Even though Oppenheimer was R, but it's not because of the violence. It's because it has an unnecessary sex scene in it. That's why. Well, yeah, my eyes restoring now. It's just I had a bad irritation. I gotta clean this room. Hey, John, what's up, Josh? The other Josh. I thought The Dark Knight Rises is a great conclusion. It's a good conclusion. I didn't say it was a bad one. It's just too long. If you cut a third of these characters out, like Mendelsohn and the guy from Pacific Rim and Matthew Modine and Mary Cotillard, the movie would be 20 minutes shorter. You don't need those people. They weren't even in the first two films. Anne Hathaway's important to the plot. She's a woman that actually has. The acting's not the problem. I never said the acting sucked in this movie. It doesn't. It's just there's too many characters in this movie, and it makes the movie longer than it's necessary. I had a good experience in the theater. I didn't die. I'm right here, obviously. I was never gonna die in 2012. That year was. No, you're not. Okay, that was kind of funny. Some of these actors might go to Comic-Con because they haven't announced everybody for August and September. Hell, Comic-Con's tomorrow in San Diego. So Josh, keep me posted. Any news that happens at Comic-Con or any posts of people that I like, share it. Share it on my timeline on Facebook. Just don't spoil Fantastic Four because I don't care. I don't give a damn about that movie. I know what's going to happen. I know what the post-credit scene's going to have Doctor Doom. I already know. Criminal Brain. I have a sixth sense. I know about these things. It's like the Supergirl. I knew she would be at the end of the movie or in a post-credit stinger. Because they basically replaced Rachel with this girl, and I don't care about her. She does nothing, and then she dies laughably. Like, see, I can make fun of this movie too. It's not, but I don't disrespect it. It still was masterfully made. It made over $1 billion. Obviously, people, it does have a fan base. I'll try to keep your post at San Diego, but it's not going to be a lot. It is going to be something, Nash. So, it starts tomorrow in the afternoon. Because California's 3 hours behind us. Right now in California it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. This movie did Bane so much better than 1997. Yeah. Bane from the video game Arkham games is the best version. Yeah, I know, because he doesn't sound like Sean Connery. I already have a love interest in this movie. I don't need another one. It's like Spider-Man 3 when they have to put Gwen Stacy. Even though she's not the love interest for Peter in that movie, she's just a distraction. It's almost 10 o'clock here in the Northeast. She has a scar. That's a foreshadowing. I hope Madeline gets a movie like this. Yeah, she will. After those Strangers prequels, she'll be done with that and she can move on. But in Inception, she dies. Nolan's always killing her off. Why? Because reasons. He's not a big fan of the French, is he? He prefers his own people from the UK. That's also a cool shot, just like in The Dark Knight. This is the scene his back gets broken. The broken mask has this scene. It comes an hour and 10 minutes into the movie. I would have said you could have cut out Glenn Powell, but it's a cameo. Cameos are fine. They come in, they come out, it's done. But with these other characters that are in the movie, they could have been cut entirely. Yep, there it is. It's a one-on-one fight. That's the fitted you. Yes, they do this stupid voice in the Lego Batman movie, but again, that was a joke. Every stupid thing that they did in Batman, they mentioned in that movie. See, because you have to celebrate all of Batman's history, from the silly all the way to the serious. Is the great in the film. She was great in Public Enemies. I forgot she was in that. Anne Hathaway. Plus, the scene is quiet. It's just two men fighting. Glenn could play a hero one day. Yeah, he will be. This and the chase in the Deathly Hallows Part 1 did get me on the edge of my seat without music. You think darkness is your ally? I know, Tom Hardy. You don't have to tell me. There's a reason that Furiosa he's not in it. They use stock footage. It's a scene because I didn't know what was gonna happen. See, he breaks the mask. He's on steroids. Of course, he's gonna be. I must break you like Ivan Drago. It's pretty intense. All your body. Yeah, this is when he breaks his back. 75 minutes in. Yep, people cheered in the theater because that's from the comics. Mm-hmm. He could have killed them, but he's an idiot, you know. Yep, there's the broken mask. You should have killed them, but these villains are so stupid. They always let their guard down and then they get beaten at the end. Oh, Batman doesn't even defeat him at the end. Catwoman does. Kind of, you know. Now we get that long scene in the prison where his back is broken and you have to fix it and then he has to jump out of the hole. Yeah. Well shot, but it takes too long to get out of there. Again, James Gunn knows how to do good pacing. In Guardians, we didn't have to wait an hour to meet all the Guardians. Delta. I like her hat. She has that piano theme. It's a nice theme. Very film noir score for her. And at least she's still a woman, so suck it, Ellen Page. I'm not going to meet you at the convention. You don't even know what you are. I know what you are. I know what you are! Yes, she does. They're almost the same age. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Anne Hathaway. They're close in age. Deathly Hallows Part 1 was just a part 1 of 2. Because the book was just one book, but they split it into 2 films. Like they did with Infinity War and Endgame. But with Avengers, with Doomsday and Secret Wars, it's not going to work the same way. Because while they're a year apart, they got delayed. And that's a problem. I know there's nothing Marvel at the San Diego Comic-Con, Josh. You don't have to tell me. They already said months ago they're not going to do anything. Why? Because Doomsday's not out yet. They're filming it right now. And Spider-Man is not going to get a trailer till next year. They're going to start filming in 2 weeks in Glasgow, Scotland. Exactly, you're an idiot. You could have killed them, but you're an idiot. The pit. How does he get out of the hole? He jumps out, and how does he get back to Gotham? He hitchhiked on a plane. I don't know. I didn't write the script. This is a very long movie. We're only about halfway through. If this was Superman, we would have been in the 3rd act by now. That's gonna be a much better experience to do a podcast for because it's way shorter than this. You have Troy Gotham, and then you'll have my permission to time. You have my time. Yeah, you have my permission to die. Again, I remember that. It's fine. Again, he didn't kill them. Good villains kill the heroes. Look at the beginning of the Watchmen, where they kill the comedian off in the first 5 minutes after the opening. Yeah, it's pretty ballsy to do that. Oh, that looks painful. It's a good thing that Darth Vader didn't sound like that. People would not take him seriously. If he sounded like this. Like the Ninja Turtles, I'm going to go see it in a couple of weeks. My sister bought me my ticket. There's not as much yelling in this compared to Dark Knight, but still. There is some yelling, especially at the end. Water. That's not a prison. It's a pit. It's like this. It's like the pit, the Sarlacc pit in Star Wars in Return of the Jedi, or uh, there's other pits too, or the Void in Deadpool and Wolverine. No, not even close. Yep, you're dead. That's Joey King as Talia. That's a girl. That's not a boy. Because I know Joey King is a girl. I've seen her. But like I said with the last movie, this movie is too long. Yeah. You could have cut a third of the characters and make this movie 2 hours and 4 minutes. That would have been fine. But this movie drags, especially in the third act. It's not boring. It's visually stunning, but it's needed to be shorter. Bruce getting out of the pit is motivational. Yeah, people clapped in the theater. They knew it was coming. This was a young Joey King. She has no dialogue and she's bald. She has like short hair like me. Hold on. Ugh. You know, RoboCop is an R-rated movie and it's not 2.5 hours. None of them are. Not even RoboCop 2 or 3. I saw RoboCop 2 in the theater at 9 o'clock and it was not as long as this. In 2020, right before the pandemic happened. Where I had to stay home all day. Yeah. The voice is so laughable. This is not as bad as the Rise of Skywalker. That's a way worse rise. There is no rise. It's a lie. When they mean rises, it's a metaphor for him jumping out of the pit and rising above all the adversity. I would never want to wear a mask like that at Comic-Con because then people won't see my face. I wore a mask at 3 Comic-Cons already. Yeah. One that covered my entire face, one that covered the top of my head, and the other that covered my eyes. So no mask this year. It's like a nuke. I know this movie is long, but I could easily sit through it. Yeah, because it's not 3 hours. It was better than The Rise of Skywalker. That movie was long too, and it didn't need to be. Fight back. Motor oil. You know, maybe they'll ask a deal for Joey to do another big franchise. Yeah, she could do it. Just stay away from Netflix. It's not working for her. Uglies was one of the worst received movies of last year. Liz Gillies was a great Catwoman. I liked her in Catwoman Hunted. I thought she did really well in that. She sold it her with her voice. You know, maybe that. Wait, you said you're. Oh, there we go. Sorry, Josh. I pressed the wrong button. Now, like I was saying, Christopher Nolan does everything. He does everything so dead serious, and I'm like, lighten up a little bit, dude. Lighten up. Not every movie you're doing is gonna be a historical epic, you know. Lighten up. At least you're alive. Ridley Scott lost his brother years ago, Tony Scott. I pressed the wrong button. Sorry about that, folks. Yes, I know that. Yourself to the world. Uzbekistan. Wow. Xfinity, they have a product placement in the Doritos. He does it off screen. Coward. Yeah, please stop doing stupid voices, Tom Hardy. It's not funny anymore. Once he did Venom, I'm like, this actor is lost. He's like, I'm gonna talk like this, and tell me, trust me, Josh, those movies sucked. The first one was so bad, I was nauseous. I could only fathom what the sequels would do to my stomach. I'll probably vomit for days. They ruined one of the best Spider-Man villains. Not once, but 3 times. People can't even enjoy a football game. This is probably when the shootings happened in the theater, like by this scene. She showed me she can do action and good voice acting and do a good Lisa Loud impression. It's difficult to make work. No, it's not difficult. Play that video game on the PS5 from last year. That is how you do Venom right without making him a joke. It worked in the comics and in the cartoons and video games. Why can't it work in a movie? Because Sony are idiots when it comes to villains. They don't know how to make a good villain movie without making them anti-heroes, which is not what they are. A villain is a villain. Bane is never an anti-hero here. He wants to kill. There says Bruce. Never. We're 95 minutes in. We still got another hour, at least. You see why I did this early? I guess Nolan told the dude in this movie to yell as loud as possible. Well, he just makes movies too long, yeah. He'll be dead. They only put Cillian Murphy in this movie to pad out running time. They should have done one villain. You don't need two. It's like the Joker died and they had to do two villains. Exactly. Yep. Also, Nolan, you're not fooling me with your fake American accents in this movie. That didn't work. After this, I was done with that. At least with Interstellar, he cast a true American as a lead, and American woman as well. There were Brits in it, but they were not the main focus. Yeah, they were not. There weren't a lot of Brits. It was a black guy who's barely in the movie. Michael Caine has a cameo in that movie. No, Cillian Murphy, I think, also had a cameo. The Avengers is still better than this movie. It made more money and also was lighter and had 3 sequels. And Loki didn't sound like this. Eva or Caitlin would look great in latex. Oh yes, they would. Prison Break. I won't be doing a podcast tomorrow. I need a break. Marlon, yeah, latex is sexy when pulled the right way. I know, Bane. You don't have to tell me. An hour. The bomb goes off in an hour, even though. So Bruce got back to Gotham in an hour. Man, he must have been on like a fighter jet or something because he gets his bat fixed, jumps out of the hole, and gets to Gotham without a ticket and without money. Like, hey, suspend the disbelief and all that, right? It's a movie. It's a movie. That's all I can do. And he went blind. This is why Michael Caine doesn't show up until the end of the film. This movie's too long. If you thought Pirates of the Caribbean 3 was too long, this is even longer. Only because Nolan can't make a short movie to save his life now. That's why I skipped Oppenheimer. I'm like, it's how long? 2 hours and 58 minutes? Hell no. I don't see movies that long in the theater, Nolan. I have my freaking time to my time is precious to me. I'm not gonna give it to you. I saw Eternals, I'm like, I'm never watching a movie that long again. That's gonna waste my time, and I didn't. Wakanda Forever had its moments, but it's also too long. It's not even the third movie; it's the second movie without Boseman, and the first 15 minutes is to celebrate him, and then the rest of the movie is 2 hours and 20 some minutes of the underwater people and Namor and freaking subplots with Riri and other. It's too much. It's too much in that movie. It could have been shorter. I like sequels that are a bit shorter than longer than the original, like Empire Strikes Back, Lost World. They're not 2.5 hours. Even Age of Ultron, it's long, but it's not this long. They waited until the last movie to go longer. Yeah, but you don't have to make it this long. Jurassic Park 3 is the shortest of the first three films. Mm-hmm. He's a chiropractor. Yeah, this is gonna. Ooh, yeah. I've had back pain. It hurts like a mother. Yes, Bruce, I know how you feel. That's one thing Bale does well as Bruce. He has the vulnerability. Why are you in this movie? Oh, you're not. You're just Liam Neeson in a suit. This movie's no Return of the Jedi. That's long. It's the longest of the three, but it's not 2.5 hours. I can sit through Return of the Jedi and never have a problem with the running time because it's so epic. And I don't have a problem with the first 40 minutes. At least Han, Luke, and Leia are in the movie, unlike that stupid Rise of Skywalker. Get on your feet. Even Deadpool and Wolverine, it's not that long. It's shorter than this by like a half hour. It's only an hour and 59 minutes, which is like, oh, that's mercifully short. You don't have to make the movie 3 hours because Sean Levy doesn't make movies that are overly long. Even Free Guy is under 2 hours because he knows that people get bored after 2 hours. When I saw Guardians 3, these kids were antsy. By the third act, they were jumping out of their seats because they were just losing an interest in the movie because it was too long. This movie is too long. Yeah, it's way too long, guys. I'm not doing a movie this long again for a while. Mark my words. My next 5 podcasts are going to be under 2.5 hours. They will be. Yeah, Juno Temple doesn't need to be in this movie. Again, suck it, okay? You're a Brit. I don't buy you for 1 minute. I need time to get used to this girl as the new Supergirl. At least it's not Juno Temple. That would have been like, nope, you're not my Supergirl. We'll see what happens when the girl from House of the Dragon gets her own movie next year and has to face Lobo. It's probably going to be good. It's not going to be better than Superman. We all know that. But it should be interesting. It's going to have a bigger budget than the 1984 film. It's not going to have witches and a giant creature, and it's not going to have cheap effects. It's going to be better than that. I know it has to. Helen Slater was good. Do those push-ups, Bruce. Do it. Ben Affleck also did this too. You gotta train that body. I gotta take a walk tomorrow. It's like bungee jumping. Don't try this at home, people. This is a movie. An hour and 47 minutes in. Awesome. He's blind in one eye. If this is Super Mario Brothers, he would have, double jumped over this. You do a movie this long again, do it like in a two-parter. Yeah, because it's just nope. He doesn't make it the first time, but he doesn't die. Millie will do just fine as Supergirl. I think people are complaining because of her drinking. Again, that's not going to be a major part of her character. Valkyrie also drank in Thor Ragnarok, and people loved her character. Yeah, he fails the first time, but then the second time he gets it, he does the jump. Like I said, this is why I don't do a lot of Nolan's movies. Is they're too long. I have Inception, but I'm not doing that until like the fall. And I have Interstellar, but I could wait till like November to do that. That's after Comic-Con. Because it's way too long. It's a beautiful movie. It's masterfully directed. It is better than this movie in every way. Better cast, better pacing, gorgeous visuals in space. I've seen this actor in other stuff too. I forgot his name. There's so many people in this movie. I'm like, you could have cut half of them out, Nolan. You didn't have Heath Ledger, so you have to fill it with 30 extra minutes of padding, padded characters that don't serve a purpose to the plot. It's like Spider-Verse. It didn't need extra characters in it. One thing for people to have issues with a film, but it's another thing. Many nitpicks that a movie did that because it's not what they wanted. Exactly. That's why R&R is a loser. When he did the rant for this movie, I'm like, why are you trying to scare me? He scared the hell out of me. I'm like, why are you throwing things at the camera? You whiny little biatch. Why? Why? I had problems with this movie. I'm doing a podcast right now. Am I complaining every 2 seconds? No. There's massively visuals in this movie. It's shot really well. You can't say this movie looks like it. No, it looks great. And the acting is not the problem. Like I said, it's not. Grifters are the ones that have to complain about every little detail. Like this movie's, it's not an action movie. Yeah, it's a crime drama with action in it sprinkled throughout. That's why it's not an action movie. This isn't John Wick. This is Batman. Done by a director that's not an action director. What the hell were you expecting? At least Lucius, they put him in it more because Michael Caine's not in the rest of the film until the end. He was doing another film. 2049 is not an action movie. Exactly. And that's masterfully directed too. It flopped. But the visuals in it are so engaging. And as a person that loves sci-fi, obviously you can see it on my wall. Yeah. It did the trick. I'm like, this is just as gorgeous as Ridley Scott's original film. It is too long though. There's too many characters in that too. You have 3 women and only one of them is a major character. Because you have there's like 4 women. You have Sylvia Hoeks. You have Anna de Armas, Mackenzie Davis. Is it Mackenzie Davis or not McKenna? Mackenzie Davis, and then you have the other girl, Robin Wright. This movie does have flaws. I said it's the most highly flawed of the three. But is it horrible? No. You haven't seen horrible. If you didn't sit through Mystery Science Theater episodes, you don't know what it feels like to sit through something so horrendous. Not the show itself. The movies that they talk over are so boring. I have all the Christopher Nolan movies. I know Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse has a lot of characters, but it has a great fan service. It better be shorter. It better not be this long. You don't need to make it this long. I only did this because, yeah, we're an hour and 52 minutes in. I only did this to kill time. Beyond hasn't been released yet, but it won't be this long. It can't be. It's for kids. Make it shorter. 2 hours is all you need, or under 2 hours. You don't need a Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 was not 2.5 hours. It was like 2:10 with the end credits. Without it's like 2:05, I think. That's right, buddy. Round 2. I meant Across the Spider-Verse, yeah. It's too long. It's the longest animated movie done by an American studio. And I'm like, yeah, because there's 13 minutes of filler in it that have nothing to do with Miles. You have the opening with Gwen, nothing to do with Miles. And then you have Spider-Punk and the Indian Spider-Man. Most of them don't really do anything either. He has a flashback. That's another reason this movie's so long. He flashbacks to the first film. You don't have to do that in every third installment. Return of the Jedi didn't have any flashbacks. Oh, now you speak English? At the end? I can shut this off. It's been on all morning and it's almost 11 o'clock and the movie's almost over. I'll make it. I do like the fire symbol at the end. Oh, it's a ripoff of The Crow. Batman and The Crow are very inspired by each other, you know. The Crow was inspired by Batman, if you think about it, because the movie came out like 5 years after the 1985 movie. I mean, the 1989 movie. Was it a coincidence that The Crow came out in the 90s after Batman and Batman Returns? It's not a coincidence. I think the flame symbol looks cool. Again, suck it, Rise of Skywalker. You couldn't even do a finale. You were making that movie. You were making the movie as you were going along. You had no plan. This movie had a plan. Nolan sat on Dark Knight for 4 years and said, "I'm going to do a sequel," and then ended. Beyond is going to hit emotionally. I hope so, Josh. They're going to reboot the MCU. I know. Just put the X-Men in there and start over. You can't do any worse than what they did with Phase 4 and 5. We saw bats. Symbolism. Dune Part 3 better not be this long. We get it. Got it. Yeah. Yeah. That wasn't a crowd-pleasing scene in the theater. Seeing that in a crowded theater that was safe from acts of terrorism, yeah. That was awesome. I'm free! Free at last. Yeah, they will restart, but I'm sure Wanda and Carol will somehow be present. Yeah. They have to reboot. Because they failed and their movies are not working. 2 movies flopped this year because Marvel thought that any character can sell a movie. No, only the ones we care about. And here comes Cillian Murphy's cameo. Why? Why are you in the movie? People were laughing. Why is he here? Because Nolan can't do a movie without him. Well, one day he won't be in the films anymore, Nolan. You couldn't use Michael Caine in Oppenheimer. He said he retired. He saved himself dying on set because he was like 90 when that movie came out. No, this is not the Penguin. My brother said a stupid thing like, that's the Penguin. I'm like, no, it's not. We wouldn't see him until the Batman. Because Matt Reeves did a better job, and that movie's longer than this. That's the one thing that he should have trimmed down. Like Mr. Terrific has a multi-deal. Yeah, good. And he fell in the ice. Cap 4 was a success mostly, but it could have been done better if people weren't so overly political with every superhero movie. Nolan could use Rebecca, yeah, because she's done with Christopher McQuarrie for now. Because Revenge of the Sith is a better movie than this. It's shorter. It's not even the longest of the prequel trilogy. The longest is Attack of the Clones. Yeah. Hey, and what's up, Spidey? Return of the Jedi way better than Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, it's better. It's shorter. Even the special edition is not this long. You don't need to make a third movie or a finale this long. Endgame is very long. Yes, it's longer than this. But it's an epic finale that just had me at the edge of my seat. I was jumping out of my seat a lot. Also, the Avengers are in the movie. They're not like... You don't wait till the end to see all of them. Sith did hit me emotionally. Yeah, it did. Every time I see Natalie Portman start crying, he gets me invested. She's my favorite actress of all time, guys. You're not a man, and she's barely in the movie. She doesn't do anything until the end of the film. And the betrayal just felt like, oh yeah, we saw this coming. Since this is a Christopher Nolan movie, I'm just going to say that from now on, but seriously needs to stop making movies so long. Exactly. You're not Peter Jackson. You are never going to top Lord of the Rings, okay? Return of the King is 4 hours and 27 minutes, Nolan. You could never make a movie that long unless it's in 2 parts. Do an intermission, exactly, Josh. Hey, 2 hours into the movie, he comes back. Wakanda Forever, what you did wrong is you did the same thing this movie did. You put the hero in the costume at the end of the film. What the hell were you thinking? It's called Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and she's not in the suit until 2 hours in. And you wonder why nobody gives a damn about Letitia Wright, because she's not Chadwick Boseman. She's not. Did you see the casting of Link? Yes, and Zelda? Yes. They're going to be 2 Brits. Don't care. Mario's better. Hopefully when they do Metroid, they'll get the casting right. How did he get here? He hitchhiked. He also shaved. We're 2 hours in. Oh no, it's a day. I thought it was 57 hours. Well, when they said it, I thought it was 57 minutes. No, I guess it was 57 hours. What is that? 24, 48. That's about 3 days. Yeah. This third act is pretty awesome, though. It is long, but Like I said, it's better than Pirates of the Caribbean 3. That movie just felt like it was 3 hours long. Or the Transformers sequels. Yeah, these directors think that long means epic. No. If you bore me to death, I don't want to sit through it. Age of Extinction is this long, too. But that movie was boring. Oh my god. By the time they got to China, I'm like, please just end this movie. This movie should have been shorter. Yeah. It should have been shorter, Spidey. No Spider-Man movie is this long. Yes, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is too long, but it's not 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's about 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that. The fourth Pirates was shorter. Yeah, they had to cut it, Josh, because it was 30 minutes of filler with the Chinese, with the Singapore people, and with the voodoo lady and all that. It's too long. It only got hatred because Johnny Depp was the lead in the movie and not Elizabeth, Swan and what's his face? Will Turner. Excuse me. This is just killing time. Next Thursday is the last podcast I'm doing for a little while because I need a break. I've done so many of these this summer. I need to take a little break in August. So no podcast August 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. I need a break. That costume is so sexy, man. Oh no, we'll forget about you when the movie's over. And Avengers came out the 2 years before the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah. In August, I'm hoping to return to live streaming. I am going to return. I'm just not going to do it the first 3 days because I need a break. I need some time to heal and recover and get some more ideas for the rest of summer and the fall coming up. There's another costume. Costume of Catwoman reminds me of Black Cat. Yeah, it does, except that she doesn't have the white hair. But we haven't seen Black Cat on the big screen. Not even animated. We've only seen her in cartoons and the comics. And a couple of video games. We're 2 hours and 4 minutes in. This movie should have been over by now, but Nolan doesn't like short movies. Dunkirk is his shortest, and that's only an hour and 47 minutes. That's 90 minutes compared to everything else he's done. Ice. The manhole cover. I'm a person that has a condition. If I feel a movie is too long, I'm going to say it here. And this is one of them. This, BVS, the Snyder Cut, and the Batman, they're too long. This is why I love Batman and Batman Returns, because while they're long, they're not this long. They don't overstay their welcome. These do, a bit. It's a good stunt. Yep, there it is, the batarangs. Yep, there's the symbol in flames. That is a cool re-entrance into the movie. Batman Returns way better than Snyder Cut. Yeah, because it's shorter. There it is. Look at that. That's awesome. The bat signal on the Brooklyn Bridge. Well, that's not the Brooklyn Bridge, but it looks like the Brooklyn Bridge. No. His shorter movies are Dunkirk, Insomnia, Memento, and Following. I never seen Following. Mm-hmm. Even Infinity War had a better pacing. It would have been almost over by 2 hours and some minutes. And it was a long movie because, again, it's a war. This is a third movie. They fight at night and the movie ends in the daytime. Weird how that time works, right? There's the bat again. Yeah, he doesn't use the tumbler in this movie. He doesn't because it was destroyed in the last film, remember? Yeah, the movie's not over yet. We still got a long way to go. Jeez, this movie is too long. We're 2 hours in. Usually this is when a movie ends, but not this one, unfortunately. This one keeps going. Don't worry, I'm never doing Pirates of the Caribbean 3. I don't own it. I only own the first two and 4 and 5. I don't have 3. 3 is just too damn long. There's a nice ass shot in this scene. Watch. No, you didn't let me down. See, she does the same thing in the Batman. In the Batman. It's a long movie. Yeah, you saw her ears are like goggles. Whee! When I saw this movie in the theater back in 2012, I was like, oh my god, when is this movie going to end? Exactly. I felt the same way with Eternals, but Eternals was much worse because that movie had way too many characters. It should have focused on like 5. That would have been long enough. You didn't need 15 characters, and half of them die. And then they're played by foreign actors I don't give a damn about. At least I like Bale in this role. His voice is laughable, but him and Bruce Wayne is fine. This is Manhattan, because I saw a train. This is not Chicago. I saw the 2 and the 3 train. That's Manhattan. They filmed this in Manhattan, in New York City. I thought this was Chicago. It's not. It's snowing. Yeah, it's daytime now. It must have been a winter day in Manhattan in 2011. There's... Yeah, this movie is too long. There's even video games that are too long, like Final Fantasy VII, and that was remade, and the original's really long. It's 3 discs long. 3 discs in 1997. Yep, there we go. Time to fly. With Superman, he flies all the time. It's a much better climax than this. And it didn't drag. James Gunn knew he was going to lose his audience if his movie was 2.5 hours. Like, nope. I'm not gonna make you wait for Superman. He's gonna kick ass throughout the entire film. Here's the ass shot. Yes, ma'am. Mm. Ah, I would lick it. Mm. See, her outfit is much. It's a different costume. It's not latex. It's not like. It's not BDSM latex like in Batman Returns. Yep, a riot. Just gee, this looks like today. It's like, get out of my way. Here we go. This battle finally happens. The thing with Ra's al Ghul's daughter wasn't even needed. It's just to make the movie even longer. Yeah, because that's what this movie needed. 20 extra minutes of padding. Save you. Oh, yeah. Superman and Supergirl in the movie together could work. Yeah, it can. If it's well written and they don't drag it out. Because Man of Steel also was way too long. It's not as long as this, but it's long. It came out after this, and I'm sorry, that did not bring the DCU into existence. It made it more miserable. Like, we're not going to be like Marvel. We're going to make our movies depressing, colorless, and humorless. For a while, until they got to Wonder Woman. They find like, oh, they can lighten up a little bit? Okay. And Shazam was hilarious. I love that movie. It's way shorter than this movie. Yep, the kids have to be safe. Even these kids are better actors than some of the actors. The kids are good actors too because they're barely in the movie, but they're not overacting or underacting. They have a nice balance. I just hope the new Wonder Woman is good. Yeah, it will be. Only should damn do it again if it's a new actor. Yeah. And this time, don't force gay agendas in it and too many characters. He cuts his tube. Yeah, eat my fist. Come on, Batman, end him. Yep, he cut his air. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. He got you, didn't he? Maybe he should have brought a spare mask. Like, he can't breathe. The thing is, he doesn't even beat Bane. Catwoman shoots him. Oh, this scene cracked me up. Also, it would be nice if he fights Black Adam. Yeah, don't tease it this time and then don't do anything with it. These Batman and Bane have 2 fights in the movie. That was awesome. Oh no, not this scene. Not that. Watch. This part. Where's the sugar? I was laughing my ass off in the theater. When I heard this... Again, you don't have to talk like this. And you people take this movie seriously. Oh my god. That's worse than the Martha scene. I was just laughing my ass off in the theater when I heard that. Where's the trigger? I broke you. God, that scene cracks me up, man. At least Bale didn't talk like that in Thor. Again, you didn't see that coming, Batman? Yeah, we don't care. He said, "Where's the trigger?" I was laughing in the theater. I had to hold my laughter under the seat because I was laughing hysterically. I'm like, I'm sorry, why are you screaming? He can hear you. Bane has a breathing problem. His ears are not messed up, Batman. He's not deaf like Echo. The final battle is beyond. It's a good ending. I just don't like her being. They sidelined Bane at the end to put her instead. When Batman was yelling, "Where's the trigger?" I was laughing in the theater. We know that Joey King was a girl. Yeah, they don't show his face. You only see Tom Hardy's eyes. Then you see his face a little bit. That's the only time you see his face for like 2 seconds. Yeah, I don't buy that a little girl can jump out of a pit and that Joey King was a little girl when she did this. No dialogue. She's not Middle Eastern. She's Jewish. She's not Arabic. Plus, she dies in a stupid way. I knew that wasn't Bane because I'm like, Bane's not a girl. I know the difference. They said, oh, they cut the hair short. Again, this movie's long enough. Can you please wrap this up? Why are you giving me exposition? This movie did not need two villains. Again, he let him die. I don't have to save you again. 11 minutes left. We're almost done. With not the movie, we're with the bomb blowing up. And plus, Marion Cotillard is not scary. She's not a villain. She get. In 2 years, this movie's going to be 15 years old, but I'm not seeing it in the theater again. It's too long. I'd rather see Batman Returns. That's going to get re-released probably in December. Marion doesn't scare me. She doesn't scare me. I'm sorry. It's like if Kristen Wiig was a villain in this movie. It didn't. She wasn't scary in Wonder Woman 1984. She should have been the main villain, or just Pedro Pascal by himself. That also was way too long, but I'm not doing that this month. The plot twist with Zaza doing this was better than Jason Todd twist from Arkham Knight. Well, I don't know about that. Wait, Arkham Knight, is that a movie or a video game? Eleven and a half minutes. It's almost done. Yeah, this movie is too long. Never doing this movie again. It's just too long. It's a game, okay. But yeah, again, they always do these twists. No, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, you're not in the MCU yet. This has a better payoff than the boat scene in The Dark Knight, because that doesn't even blow up. The bomb does go off here, just in the water. Yeah, why are you touching his mask? You're not supposed to touch the face. Yeah, and he doesn't even die from him. He gets shot. He loses to a girl. Yeah, Bane, the all-powerful Bane with venom in his and steroids in his arms, gets beaten by a woman. What a downgrade, huh? Oh, she doesn't blink. Real villains can blink. Yeah. Weak. Watch this. He died. I didn't even see it coming. That's it. Yep. You got beaten by a girl. Numb. He got beaten by a woman. And that's it. Bane's out of the rest of the film. So the threat is over. The movie could have ended here. No. Saxon Fifth. Yeah, that's in Manhattan. They filmed this in Manhattan. Beating Bane and saving Batman isn't a problem. It's not a problem. Some people had a problem with it because, like, a Weekend's Batman. I'm like, no, he needed help. He got stabbed. You're not going to recover from a stab wound in 2 seconds. They did film this in Manhattan. Just it's completely empty. This is before Hurricane Sandy changed everything. A few months after this came out. It made me laugh because I'm like, he gets beaten by a woman. He's like, I gotta kill you now. Hiya! And then kaplooey. I'm like, wow, what killed him? A cannon? He died like a Looney Tune. Excuse me. Even though this movie is way too long, at least it's still a better DC movie than Joker Folie à Deux. Oh yeah, because that movie retcons the first one. This didn't retcon the Dark Knight. They just don't mention the Joker anymore because they were between a rock and a hard place. When Heath Ledger died, they had to keep moving with the story, but find a way to make it work. And it mostly works. Mostly. It's still flawed though. I mentioned my flaws throughout the last 2 hours. Let me drink some water because I'm dying. Frozen 2 wasn't this long. That movie wasn't even 2 hours. Yep, there's the bat. That is a cool vehicle. I'll say that. It doesn't look terrible. It looks cool. Because she's on the bat pod. He can't be in both things, so. Third movies don't need to be the longest. Hell, the longest Harry Potter movie is the second one. It clocks in at around this long. I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit too long. Chamber of Secrets, even Walk Culture said this a movie that's too long, and it is too long. By the time we got to the Basilisk, I'm like, oh my god, just end, please. I was begging for the movie to end after that scene, because Harry gets wounded, and then the Phoenix cries on him. The movie should have ended there. I don't know how the book ends, but that movie was too long. They can't take on big threats alone by themselves. Even Mara Jade needs help. Yeah. With the Force. Missile Hoy. Plus, Batman's not talking in this scene. So the best scenes with him are usually when he's fighting and when there's no talking. Because he gets it done. And this is still a better movie than the Amazing Spider-Man. That tried to be like Batman. And that failed. Because it was the Sam Raimi movies, but done without color and without an ounce of personality. It was just, yeah. When Spidey finally shows up, there's personality, but that's like an hour into the movie. We don't want to wait. Why do we need to wait an hour? This movie was 45 minutes. I get it. Trying to make a movie realistic. Yeah, it's not realistic to make us wait this long. This isn't Chicago. This is Manhattan. They showed a train. Even X-Men 97. Again, those were short episodes. They were not an hour and a half. Their son's help. Yeah, Miles can go all the way light or dark. Yeah, but don't make it this long. Whee! And then she dies. Waste of a character. The T-1000 would have walked this off. And she just dies.
Good.
Yeah. Lame. I'm the main villain? No, you're not. Bane was, and then you sidelined him at the end. Yep, she dies on her back. Lucius has to do something because, again, Alfred's not in this finale. He shows up at the very end when he thinks Bruce died. Ivy will do more if they use her better. Yeah, they got to use her better than Batman and Robin. Yeah. What, did you take a nap or something? That was a stupid... Sorry, Nolan, that's not realistic. Nobody dies like this. Nobody dies like that. They slowly close their eyes when they die. Here comes a kiss. Yes, that's right. She initiates the kiss. My sister loves these two characters together. You beautiful, beautiful woman, you. That is a good speech. Even though the voice is still laughable. Thankfully, we don't have to deal with that in with the John Wick movies or even with Bruce. Again, another flashback. DC always has to do flashbacks. Thankfully, with Superman, there wasn't any. You didn't need him. We already know what happened to him when he was a kid. He got shot in a rocket into space and went and landed on Earth. We don't need to know anything else. Crypto also survived. If you've seen the Super Pets movie. I did. Guess of flying into the ocean. Of course, the blaster will still feel aftershocks. It's like when an earthquake happens. There's also a bus scene in Infinity War, but again, it's a better movie. The box office speaks for itself. It's one of the 5 highest-grossing movies of all time worldwide. Yeah, that music that they use in a lot of epics. Avatar used it, and District 9. The law! Yeah, because even the Snyder Cut did that in the beginning of the film. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Kaplooey. The bomb did go off. That alone, but the aftershocks they would have felt that. I guess it wasn't a big enough bomb, like a hydrogen, like an H bomb. There still would have been an aftershock if it was realistic, Nolan. Bombs don't just go off and then you're fine. No. Even if it's miles away, you're going to feel something. There was an earthquake in Jersey a few years ago, and I felt the tremors of my bed. And then the movie should have ended there, but no, it has to keep going. We're 2.5 hours in, 1 hour and 51 minutes. Well, 2 hours and 1 minutes. Thanks for sticking by me, guys, because I knew you knew this would be long. But it's almost over. Just a few minutes left, and then we are done. I never have to do this movie again. I won't see this movie for another year. And I'm not going to help you if you watch this movie on Max. Because now with ads, this movie would be 3.5 hours. No. There's Alfred at the end. 2 hours and 32 minutes into the movie. With Bozeman, they did this in the first 15 minutes in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. He's not crying for Bruce, he's crying for the parents. Because Bruce is not dead. Injustice, wink wink. This statue is cool. He'll be back. We're gonna see him real soon. I haven't seen Batman and the Yakuza movie yet. I think it's in Japanese, so I'm gonna wait. Don't want to read subtitles. Sorry, guys. I'm lazy. I'm not gonna read any subtitles until August or September. And no movies that are subtitled. I'm not doing any subtitle movies for August on my podcast. I'll review some, but that's about it. He's such a great actor, man. Michael Caine. The ending is fine. It didn't piss me off. I'm just glad it ended. Because I didn't need this movie to be 3 hours. I've been talking for over 2 hours, yeah. Martha and Thomas Wayne Home for Children. Good, that's a nice touch. Mm-hmm. Yes, there it is, an Easter egg. Like, Robin's not a cop again. This is Nolan's vision of Batman. Nolan's vision. Not Bob Kane. Bob Kane passed away before The Dark Knight Rises came out, so that was a nice touch. I like that name, Robin. Wink, wink, and people were clapping in the theater. It's an Easter egg, guys. Don't take it so seriously. You people that complained about this, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Yeah. Is this a masterpiece? No. It's got a lot of flaws, but it's well made. Nolan has never made a movie that I was like, oh, that movie was garbage. No. I haven't seen one yet. I heard Tenet was bad, but again, it came out during the pandemic. This did not. Or Inception, or Interstellar, or Dunkirk. Blake finds this Batcave. This could have led to something. You never know. Him becoming Robin, that would have been cool. The bats. He'll be back real soon in about a year or two. He's still DC's cash cow. Without him, DC doesn't have he doesn't have the they don't have the foundation. And there he is. Yep. I survived. And he's with Catwoman in France or something in a cafe. And then the movie ends. We knew Bruce wasn't gonna die. That bombastic music from Hans Zimmer, and then the movie ends. And that was The Dark Knight Rises. Jeez, that's a long movie. But I enjoy it. Despite Heath Ledger not being there, we know who directed this movie. 2 hours and 36 minutes, guys. Thank God that's over. Oh man, that was a long movie, guys. Love the ending. The ending, it's a bittersweet ending because you know Batman has to retire, but Bruce got to live his life. You know, he got to move on. And it didn't die, because if he died, people were leaving the theater. I'm like, guys, wait till the movie says the end, then you can leave. And there's no Marvel stinger here, so it's fine. After the 2.5 hours, I'm good. Thanks for watching these last 3 movies. You know, well done, but man, they're long. Oh, jeez. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Acknowledge me, and I'll see you guys in 2 days. I'm not doing a podcast tomorrow. I need a day of rest. See you in the next one.